Hello, beautiful human cross watcher. Welcome to the Cross Watchers Only reading. I'm Marlo if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. Just a quick little spiel because I have not done these on my channel in years. And I'm bringing them back. I just was compelled to. I'm gonna let you guys know, for those who don't, how these go. So pretty much it's like, this isn't for a Gemini person, it's for a person who is cross-watching a Gemini person, meaning 9 times out of 10, because they're love readings, it's someone that you're in a, fraternizing kind of situation with, whether you're dating, whatever the case, and you're not really sure what's happening in the connection, and you're trying to gain some insight into what the heck is really going on. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first card that we have from a cross watcher, we have the 4 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, a lot of holding back there. Then we have, oh my goodness, a lot going on. It's a lot like the other ones. We have the 8 of Cups, and then we have the High Priestess in the reverse, and that is Pisces energy. Interesting. So what is looking like, cross watcher, in the month of March in reference to this person? There's a lot of holding back that you guys are doing. That seems to be a theme with a lot of the cross watchers based on the readings I've done prior to you guys. But there's a lot of holding back because you guys are kind of in this headspace of like, I'm not going to keep feeding into this. Like, I'm going to take a step back and see if they still come towards me. However, I can tell you for sure that whenever you do that, the reason it's like all of the situations that I'm seeing, it's like being in the cycle with a person that you just can't ever seem to end. You ever can't seem to get out of. Because the moment that you start to pull back, or you're not, behaving the way that you typically do, is when they come back with some type of gesture or some sort of confession of love or whatever the case. But I feel more or less with this High Priestess in the reverse, and I want to clarify this, to be quite honest, because I'm feeling this 2 different ways. In the first sense, the first thing that came to me as soon as I turned it over is that you guys aren't really listening to your intuition in reference to this situation. And they're giving me a whole bunch of stuff with this. By they, I mean my guides. The vibe I'm getting is like iron sharpens iron, but wood dulls iron, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like if you were to get an axe and keep chopping at a tree, or even if you think about your kitchen knives, when you're consistently chopping stuff, eventually it's going to start to get dull, and you're going to have to sharpen it against, more metal to get it sharp. But the more that you use it, it's like it's going to start to dull out. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Like, I feel with this particular Gemini person that you guys are dealing with, there's a level of like up and down in the relationship. It's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of like not really being sure about things. And I feel they're a little like, I don't want to say they're controlling or dominating, because I haven't gotten to their energy yet. But I feel even if they're not directly controlling, it just kind of feels like they set a standard in the connection, and you just kind of feel like you have to go along with it, because it kind of feels like you don't have an option otherwise, if that's making sense. But like I said, it's with you guys coming into March, it's you guys kind of taking a step back to either like just get your head together to get clear on the connection, or hoping that that makes some sort of an impact. But I feel, that's something that you've done before. And this person is going to, return. It's almost like I said, it's like confessions of love and stuff like that. And like, oh, I love you and I want to be with you, and like, da 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 da. Like stuff like that, if ever you pull back. So that says to me that, like, this is something that you've attempted to do before. But at the same time, with this High Priestess in the reverse, there's like, okay, I don't want to use these now. There's a level of you not listening to your intuition at all. And my whole thing with saying the whole, wood dulls iron thing is, I feel kind of being in this situation with this person has you really focused on 3D, if I could say it that way. So I don't know if you were like super woo-woo before you met this person, or like you meditated a lot, or you got gifts or something like that. But I feel you kind of have gotten like, and this would be this is how you would know that this is a reading for you, is prior to connecting with this person, you were really into like your spiritual journey and all this other kind of stuff. And ever since you met them, you found that you've slowly kind of drifted away. Like you don't have the same schedule with your meditation, or you might be meditating less, or, you used to read a lot of books, or you were taking classes, courses, whatever the case. But once you started, dating this person, and kind of with this whole little song and dance you guys have going on, it's like you've kind of gotten off track as far as your like your spiritual journey and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? Because you find yourself worrying more about the connection and the person and what it is that's happening. It's like the whole situation is living rent free in your head, kind of thing, So let me clarify this High Priestess in the reverse, because the other thing I'm feeling with this is like not really so much that something is being hidden from you, but almost like you guys have something else that's going on. Oh God. Okay, so we have the Death card that's clarifying this High Priestess in the reverse. And I see this two ways, because with this Death card, that could be speaking to what I was saying in the sense of this spirituality thing, meaning like a proverbial spiritual death, because of you guys being cut off from like life force energy, in a sense, like not going back to the proverbial spiritual well to refill yourself. But then on the other side of this is more or less speaking to a need for a transition. And I feel like both of those are saying two things in two different ways. That's interesting. And dates that are important with this is July 15th through the 20th. This is weird. Hold on. Because I can't. Okay. This makes perfect sense now. I was about to say, I was like, I can't ignore the fact that even though I'm seeing it like, oh, disconnecting spiritually, you know what I'm saying, not listening to your intuition, I was like, there's something else there that relates to you, and I can't ignore that. So the other card that came out is Ascending, and it says transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So here's the deal. There's supposed to be a death for you, cross watcher. So I'm sticking to my story with the whole thing of like the whole spiritual side of things, because of course, death is a transition, right? It's a transformation. It's like it's ending an old way of being and then, transitioning into a new form. And I feel for you guys, there's supposed to be a spiritual top up for you. Like you're supposed to be leveling up to another level spiritually, but it's not really got to turn over their cards, because what that would say to me is, if ever since you've been dealing with this person and every time you pull back, this person comes back, that would sound to me like a dark distraction where this person is child. Oh, wow. This would be like the mid-February Gemini soul session in the reverse, because of course crosswatcher, I mean, unless you're dating another Gemini, you're probably not a Gemini, but it's like that in the reverse, which is so strange. Those of y'all who are members, go re-listen to that. You're gonna see what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's interesting. Let me turn over your Gemini person's cards. The first card they have is the Strength in the reverse. Okay, that's Leo energy. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh my word. Okay, this person has no chill. And then we have the Knight of Chalices. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so here's the deal with this Gemini person that you are cross-watching for. with this strength in the reverse, the first thing I heard with this is no holds bar. Like, this person does not hold back. They have zero chill. There is no cruise control. There is no off button. They just extra lit. Like, they're always going like level 1000. You know what I'm saying? In everything that they do. They also could be like an adrenaline junkie. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's really into interestingly different types of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, on one side of it, the palatable side of it would be like a person who's really into like bungee jumping and, you know, skydiving and, you know, like, I don't know, motorcycles and stuff like that, right? That's like the tame side of it. On the other side of it, it's like they're into some things, like some stuff and some things. Like stuff and things. Like things. They're into things. Like things that are, and I don't even know how to describe it because YouTube wants us to watch our language. I don't know how to say that without being very inappropriate. But they into some things. If this is your reading, you would already know what I'm saying. But they're into things like stuff that is like, oh, you, that's how you rocking, you know, they're into those kinds of things. And I feel with this person though, they're very much infused in their sensory consciousness. And what I mean, this is so funny because I feel that people who never really watch my readings are going to be watching these. This is so funny. So it's like I'm literally getting disclaimers to explain stuff. When I say sensory consciousness, like a person who is like worldly, you know what I'm saying? Like a person who's very much like in the world and of the world. Like they're not really spiritual, like talking about it. They may fraternize with it a little bit, but they're not really like woo-woo spiritual or anything like that. They may talk about energy and stuff like that, but for the most part, the majority of their life is lived in 3D, like just everyday life, what they see in front of them, like that's what life is to them. But the next card that they have is the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and that's a very self-centered energy. And the whole deal is what this brings me back to with you guys, and this is a theme I've been seeing in all the cross watchers readings up to this point, to where a lot of the partnerships I'm seeing are lacking reciprocity. It's a lot of the person who's cross watching where everything that they're doing is for the person, but the person isn't really doing anything in return. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm seeing the same vibe with the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So it could be with this person, one side of this, there may be a money aspect to this, to where you support this person financially in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And not saying fully supporting them financially, but in the sense of like, even if they kind of fell on a hard time or whatever, it's like it's supporting them or giving them money, or, you know, feeling like the need to kind of take care of the person. But it's you also feeling like you doing a lot for the person, even if it's not monetary. It's like you're doing so much for them, being so understanding, supporting the stuff that they're into, fraternizing with the stuff that they're into. But it's kind of like they're very focused on self and not really giving that same amount of effort back to you. It's almost like feeling kind of invisible by the person, in so many words. It's like you, in reference to them, it's like feeling like they don't see you, you know, or like you have to do a lot to get them to pay attention to you, especially with that falling under the 8 of Cups. It's like you literally have to like shut down, not say a word, not send a text, and like disappear for a couple of days for them to be like, oh, wait a minute, like what the heck's happening here type of deal. You know what I'm saying? But then again, with this Knight of Chalices, if you guys, and I'm saying if, but based on what it is that I'm seeing, I feel if you guys are dealing with a Gemini person, y'all aren't really communicating right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all aren't really communicating right now. And I feel ultimately they're going to do the same thing that they've been doing. But a thing that my guys are telling me to say too, though, dude, is to be aware if, because they're not telling me one way or the other of like your why behind this. Like if you guys aren't communicating with them now, like, if you took a step back, there's a need for you, and this is not for everybody, this is just a side message I'm getting. If you took a step back from this person and you've been with them for a while, and you know this is your pattern where when you pull back, they come running type of deal, you need to acknowledge in yourself if the only reason why you pulled back now is because you know that they're going to come back running, because that's the song and dance that you guys do, is something about needing to acknowledge that. Because if, and I hope I'm explaining this clearly, because that's a vast difference. It's one thing to say like, oh my gosh, I'm really sick of this and I'm done. Like, I'm just not, like, I'm over it with them, right? That's one thing. But the other thing is, you know, he's not calling me, she's not calling me, I'm sick of them, I'm sick of this, da 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 da. But watch, I'm not gonna, like, I always call them at such and such time on Wednesday, I'm gonna fix them. I ain't calling on Wednesday, right? And watch, they come running back. That's something entirely different. If the latter is why it is you guys are holding back from them, because your whole thing is you want them to come back running, there's a need for you to be aware of that and to acknowledge that. Because similar to like what I said to the cross watcher of Pisces, it would be you being a willing participant in the rehearsal of this cycle, right? And with this high priestess in the reverse being here in the death card and the ascending card, clarifying that, the thing is that there's a need for you to see where it is that you are and rise above it, not play into it. And pretty much what I'm getting, I don't know who you are, cross watcher, but you somebody. Because I mean, the vibe I'm picking up on, like, legit, the person who is cross watching this, well, I can't say who's cross watching it, but the person that this reading is for is like, when you know better, you do better, and you know better. Like, you literally do. Like, the vibes I'm picking up on is this is somebody who has psychic gifts. You're aware that you have psychic gifts. You might have medium gifts, child. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't even say like, oh, you just read tarot cards. No, it's not that. It's like, if you read tarot cards, you just so happen to read tarot cards, but you have psychic gifts, like, maybe in that sense. But aside from the cards, like, you're just psychic. Like, this is somebody where you literally like are like light worker, star seed type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're well versed in that. Well, not necessarily saying like well versed, like, you know, you got a whole cult or something like that. But I'm saying in the context of you're aware that you do have gifts and you fraternized with your gifts for some time. It's not something that you're considering or something you're on the fence about. Like, it's very clear to you at this point in your life that you have gifts, right? And the vibe I'm getting, and I'm just being honest with you, child, this is like a chastisement from your spiritual team. Look, I just work here, okay? Look, do not shoot the messenger. I'm just here to say what them is saying, okay? But I'm feeling it. Like, I'm feeling this whole little thing behind me of they ain't happy about it. They're not. Like, you fucking up, sis. That's how I feel. That's not how I personally feel. That's what I feel I'm getting from them. In this particular situation, the reason why this message is coming out is you have a call and you signed a contract, and like we all did, and there's something that you're supposed to be doing, hunty, and this person is acting as a dark distraction to it. You feel what I'm saying? And this is just supposed to be a love reading, but for whoever this person is, I have to go full, you know, woke therapist, tarot therapy right quick. The month of February was a transformational point where there was like a crossroads thing going on with you picking a path and whatnot, right? And there's only two paths to choose from, light, dark, you know what I'm saying? Life and death, you know what I'm saying? Type things, love and fear, okay? Only two paths to choose from. you would want to pick the 3 L's, you know, the love and the light. You know what I'm saying? The life. Like, these are things you'd want to pick. It would behoove you, you know, but I feel for you guys, you're hitting on an expiration date of a time that you're supposed to be leveling up. And I feel this person has been being used to prevent you from leveling up. But the thing is that you're not a victim in the matter because you know better. Like, you're fully aware of what you're doing. Like, that's literally what my guides, Who Friends With Your Guides, is telling me, is that you're fully aware of what it is that you're doing. I mean, we're all guilty of it. Like, I think every single, like, chick I know with gifts, I have a whole network full of them. We do these things sometimes, squirrel. You know, you're in good company. We be doing it sometimes. We just be pretending like, oh, you know, spirit not telling me nothing. Like, I don't know what's happening, you know? But you know better. And this is kind of like a chastisement of where, like, you legit need to wake up and realize what's happening here. Because the only reason why you're stuck in this cycle at this point is because you're choosing to be, and you need to wake up to that. You know what I'm saying? You need to wake up to that. And that's why I say this is interesting, because the mid-month checkup that I did for Gemini is exactly this scenario. And I find that fascinating. So, I mean, unless you're a Gemini too, child, look, not to get all hot on my neck. Look, I am telling the person, like, just let me live. I don't know if you're a Gemini too, or you have Gemini in your chart or something like that. But I literally, when I put it up on my membership platforms, I said this was like an all sign must watch, because I felt like all signs would benefit from the message that came in through Gemini. You feel what I'm saying? But this is the exact scenario I was seeing, because the whole reading was about spiritual attack. And the thing that I'm saying with you, Crosswatcher, with this particular Gemini person, you literally are under spiritual attack, but you are because of who it is that you are and what you're supposed to do. So this person not knowing they asshole from a hole in the ground, right? It's like they're being used because they don't know any better. It's not like they have malicious intention towards you. It's just that they're like a willing participant in an open vehicle for adversarial energy to attack you, to keep you from ascending. Because if you don't ascend and you don't align with your mission and what you're called to do, then all the people that you're called to help suffer. Like, that's how serious all of this stuff is that we do is. So specifically, like I said, the latter, if the whole reason why you were doing this is because you know this will make the person come back, child, just stop it. Just stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it. Stop it right now. I mean it with my whole heart. Cut it out. Stop. Okay? Because you would be putting yourself in this situation. You feel what I'm saying? Whoo, child. Because y'all would be in cahoots with each other at this point. I don't even know what else to say. Like, I don't even, like, this ain't no regular reading, okay? This is a message that whoever this is for needed to hear. I'm not even going to pretend to even finish this like I've done the rest of these. You know what I'm saying? So if this don't resonate with you, child, it just wasn't your reading this go around. I might put a little bonus up or something for Gemini cross watchers, but whenever I say that, I never end up doing it, because whatever message comes out is the message that was supposed to come out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even feel compelled to like pull oracles, nothing, child. This message from you guys is your oracle. You understand what I'm saying? So we're just gonna leave it at that. I love your face. I'd like to meet you. You know what I'm saying? I promise I won't fuss at you. I love your face. I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends.